By the end of this video, you will learn how to hit consistent topspin in pickleball, understand when to use it in different shots, and how to apply proper technique, regardless of your experience level or background. If you're someone who didn't come from tennis, learning topspin might seem tricky at first, but with a little breakdown and the right drills, you'll be able to start using topspin effectively the very next time you step onto the court. Let's start with the basics. What is topspin, and why should you even care about adding it to your game? Topspin is a type of spin that makes the ball rotate forward as it travels. You create this spin by brushing up the back of the ball, causing it to arc slightly higher before sharply dipping down into the court. This gives you a distinct advantage. You can hit harder without hitting long. The ball dives down faster thanks to the spin, helping you keep your shots in bounds while increasing pressure on your opponent. Another key benefit of topspin is what happens after the ball hits the ground. A ball with heavy topspin doesn't just bounce, it kicks forward and accelerates, making it harder for your opponent to time their return. That fast, jetting bounce disrupts rhythm and reduces their options, especially if they're trying to attack off the bounce. This is why topspin is known as the aggressive spin. It's built for offense and pressure, and if you want to play at a high level, it's essential to know how and when to use it. And to hit topspin reliably, there are 5 core technical elements that you need to understand and apply. If even one of these is missing, your topspin might be inconsistent or not appear at all. The first is the concept of the brush. This is the upward motion of your paddle as you make contact with the ball. Rather than hitting straight through the ball with a flat paddle face, you want your paddle to move both forward and upward, like you're scooping or rolling up the ball's backside. Without this brushing action, there's no spin. Next is your paddle path. To create spin, your paddle needs to go from low to high, not high to low. Many beginners or players without a tennis background instinctively chop down on the ball, but topspin comes from lifting up from below, not slicing down from above. So make sure you're dropping your paddle before contact and finishing higher than where you started. The third element is how you generate the lift. There are 2 ways, either through arm motion or wrist action. Lifting your arm upward is a more stable, traditional technique, great for most topspin shots like drops or dinks. Wrist flicking, sometimes called the windshield wiper technique, is more explosive and typically used for faster attacks like roll volleys or speed-ups. Knowing when to use which method is important because some shots call for more stability while others benefit from a quick flick. Another major factor is your grip. A closed grip, where your paddle face tilts slightly downward, is far more effective for generating topspin than an open one. If your paddle face is too open, pointing up, brushing the ball becomes harder, and you risk popping it up. Switching to an Eastern grip on your forehand instead of the more neutral continental grip makes it easier to close your paddle face and get under the ball. Finally, the contact point matters. You want to meet the ball in front of your body and slightly to the side, not behind you. When you contact the ball too late, it's difficult to create that upward brushing motion. By keeping your contact in front, your swing becomes more efficient, and it's easier to apply the proper mechanics. Once you understand the core mechanics, it's time to take that knowledge to the court. A great thing about topspin is that you don't even need a partner to practice it. You can use a wall, a windscreen, or even just your paddle and a ball to work on your brushing motion. One of the best drills is hitting the ball into a windscreen and watching how it bounces. If the ball kicks upward after contact, you're generating spin. If it just drops straight down or falls flat, you probably didn't get enough upward movement. Try different speeds, angles, and brushing intensities. Watch the rotation of the ball. If it's spinning forward after contact, you're on the right track. You can practice forehand and backhand topspin this way, including one-handed and two-handed backhands. With repetition, you'll start to build feel and consistency. Here's where things get really interesting. While the brush and low to high motion stay the same, how you use topspin changes based on the type of shot you're hitting. Let's break down how topspin applies to the most common pickleball shots, starting with serves and drives. For topspin serves and drives, you don't need an extreme brushing motion. Because the ball is already moving fast, a more subtle lift combined with a slight forward tilt of the paddle is usually enough. What's more important here is a stable contact point and a smooth follow-through. You can use both your arm and a bit of wrist to add that final pop of spin. especially if your paddle has a gritty surface to help grab the ball. On topspin drops, the motion changes quite a bit. You're now dealing with a much slower swing, so you have to exaggerate the lift to generate spin. That means getting even lower beneath the ball and driving upward with your arm. Wrist action isn't as important here. Just think about keeping your body calm and your swing path smooth and vertical. If you do this right, you'll be able to hit drops that not only land in the kitchen, but also kick forward, making them tougher to attack. Topspin dinks are very similar to drops, especially in technique. You still want to exaggerate the upward brush, since dinks are hit at the slowest speed. Because of that, you have to use more of your upward force to generate the same effect. On forehand dinks, try a motion similar to a ping pong forehand flick, small, compact, and upward. For backhand topspin dinks, two hands usually give better control, but it's also possible with one hand if your technique is solid. One of the flashiest and most effective topspin techniques in pickleball is the roll volley. This shot is a combination of quick reflexes and precise wrist movement. It's often used to attack from the non-volley zone or just behind it, especially when you want to surprise your opponent and force a difficult return. What sets the roll volley apart is that most of the spin comes from the wrist. You're not using a big swing or a lot of your arm, just a quick flick upwards, brushing up the back of the ball. You can do this on both forehands and backhands. A popular variation of this is the speed up, when you're dinking softly, then suddenly flick your wrist to accelerate the ball with topspin, catching your opponent off guard. The trick is to disguise the shot, using the same setup as a dink before whipping the paddle up at the last second. So now you've got the full picture. From the brush to the grip, the low to high motion, the use of your wrist and arm, the contact point, and how it all changes from shot to shot. This is your blueprint for learning and mastering topspin in pickleball. Whether you're trying to hit a sharper serve, a more aggressive drop, or a sneaky speed up at the kitchen, topspin can give you that extra edge. It's okay if it feels awkward at first. If you didn't grow up with tennis or ping pong, this motion might take a bit of getting used to. But with the right practice, on a wall, in drills, or even just shadow swinging, you'll start to build muscle memory and confidence. And if you're still not sure where to start, go back to the basics. Get the brush, get below the ball, and finish above it. From there, you can fine-tune each shot and figure out your own style.